Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and it's time for a thrift flip road trip. It's going to be so much fun. Thank you so much for stopping here in the Pacific Northwest. I'm in Washington State, and I am going to be putting together a fun accordion travel journal for you all. I hope you enjoy my project. But first, I need to thank Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs, Kay and Trish from the Crafting Cousins, and Annie from Crafting with Indie Annie Jones for hosting the road trip, and all of us creators who have some really fun projects. Please check out the playlist. Everything is linked in my description box below this video. I hope you all will check out all of the projects that the creators have put together for this road trip. So let's get to it. Welcome to my workshop. It's a little bit messy right now, but it's all going to make sense coming up. I am going to be working with our Passport to Adventure collection. I am a Creative Memories Independent Advisor, and I would love to be your advisor. If you are looking to do some paper crafting, send me a message. creativepageswithcatherine@gmail.com. I am also on Facebook and Instagram at the same call name, Creative Pages with Catherine. I would love to see if you put together one of these envelope accordion projects. Tag me on Instagram or Facebook if you do. This envelope accordion album was an idea that Noreen Smith from our home office presented back in July of last year, and she did it more as a photo album and used a tool that we don't currently have for sale anymore. So I wanted to do an updated version, and I wanted to create it as a travel log because I think a lot of you all are getting ready to go on spring break trips or on summer vacations, and you might want an idea of something quick you can make to take along to make some notes while you're traveling, or to even maybe just pop over to a local Walgreens or CVS to print some photos, although I would love it if you printed photos with me also. Just saying. Here we go. Our Passport to Adventure collection. This is the designer paper pack. I am going to be working with the tag sheet from this collection. Super cute. It has the waves on the back as well as the tiled page, which you can already see. I pre-cut some of my papers here. And that one has the geometric design on the back. I've also pulled out some of our Platinum Shimmer cardstock and our Starry Night cardstock as well, because we had a big discussion with some of the other creators about glitter last week. And I thought, you know what? I don't pull out my shimmer papers enough. I don't think I'm ready for glitter yet, but I can definitely do shimmer paper for sure. It just adds a really nice touch to your pages. You will also need the stickers from this collection if you want to make the project like I am, as well as one of our blank card kits. So I have the envelopes from our blank card kit. These are standard A2 sized card. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we are going to be layering these envelopes underneath each other. So I'm going to start. I have 5 of them here, and I'm going to grab my precision point adhesive. I'm going to run a little bit along the top part of my envelope here. Yes, I guess you could lick it, but I'm not doing that. I do when I'm mailing them, but not for a project like this. And so I went ahead and I used my precision point adhesive on the flat part of each envelope. We are going to be using these pockets to hold things later. So I will show you that coming up as well. But I didn't necessarily want to use my tape runner. You can use your tape runner, your regular tape runner, but I just thought the precision point adhesive would hold it a little bit tighter. And especially since we're going to be folding this project, I thought let's go ahead and do it that way. We're going to start with the outside part. So go ahead and flip over your entire train of envelopes here. And let me pull out my papers that I pre-cut so I can talk y'all through this. My apologies, you are also going to need a matte pack, which if you watch any of my other videos, you will see I love the mats. They are just so simple and easy to use. They coordinate with all of our collections. Each collection typically has a matte pack, and they are gorgeous. So I'm putting just a little bit of tape runner on my piece, my strip here. This is a 1 1/4 by 5.5 inch strip, actually 6 inch, I'm sorry. When I measured the envelopes, because our cards are 4 1/4 by 5.5, when I went to measure the envelopes, our envelopes are actually 4 3/8 by 6 inches. So I cut my strips to 6 inches. I am using this mat that has the airplane and the lines on it. It has a spot to put your date on it if you would like. And this is going to be my first one. We're going to center this between those two platinum strips. It's basically because our mats, all of the mats I used are 4 by 6. And since we had this extra 3/8 of an inch, I just wanted to give it a little bit of pizzazz to be framed with, if you will. So I have this piece for, and I'm actually working from the bottom of my pile, so I'm just going to go ahead and flip this over. The tag paper is going in between here. This one is 4 3/8 by 6 inches. So with the paper, I was able to cut it precisely to fit the back side of the envelope. But with the mats, since they're already pre-cut, our mats come in either 4 by 6 or 4.5 by 6.5 inches, and the ones I picked were 4 by 6. I had to make a little bit of an adjustment for it, and I was okay with that. My next mat going down is this one with the luggage stacked up on it. It does have lines along the bottom as well. I used the Starry Night Shimmer behind this one. I just thought I'd pop the color a little bit more. Very complimentary with all of our colors here. And just get those placed down. Oops, this one is just a little bit shorter. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of white at the top and the bottom. It's okay. You won't really notice it once the mat's on there. When I cut it, I thought there was a little bit of space, and then there really wasn't. So it's okay. I just cut mine on just a hair bit shorter than the 6 inches, and it's okay. It is what it is. So I have another sheet of our tag paper here. You can see the back side already to go here. Let's get this one down on my next spot. So we're basically covering up all of those envelope flaps that were under each other that I glued down. I'll show you real quick. On this one here, you can see where we glued the flap to the back side of the envelope. So that's what we're covering up here. On this one, we have a little bit extra. So let me get my 2 strips down first. And then we're also going to have a little band that's going to run around and hold our little travel journal together. So first, get your 1 1/4 by 6 inch strips down to your platinum shimmer. And then what I did was I took okay, this one has just a little bit also. I took our platinum shimmer, and then I grabbed our scallop blade. And if you want me to show you how I cut this, please leave me a comment and let me know. You do kind of have to fussy cut a little bit by turning your paper with our scallop blade. You do need to have it turned a certain direction, and I just didn't want to take the time to do that for this. So let's see here how much of this band are we going to need on each direction to go around here? I want to make sure I have a little bit more coming from this left side here. So that looks about right to me. Let me flip this back over. Okay, so right around here is where I need to make sure to start my tape. And then we are going to go across, flip that back over through here. Make sure we get this down really nice and tight because this is going to be underneath our mat. So I'm putting just a little bit more tape on it than I would for the other pieces. I'm going to run this so you can see. I'm going to mark this through the center here where the tip of our envelope closure is. And that looks about right. Here we go. So I did adjust several of the measurements. I added the scallop blade to my closure and I'm showing you a different closure than what Noreen did. I always put my own spin on things as much as possible, but I always like to show where I got an idea from as well. This piece is 2 3/4 by 6, and this one I think is going to go under our band. Yes, it is. So let me just run my tape runner here on the top of this envelope here, the closure, I mean. Just going to put maybe a little bit more as well because this is probably going to get a little more wear and tear. I'm going to grab my border mat here real quick and my repositionable tape because I do want to reinforce this. This is the one part of our whole travel journal that really is going to get a little bit more wear and tear than some of the other pieces. So I just want to make sure it's reinforced and that it won't be flapping around on us. And we're going to be cutting this down here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and put this on. 2 3/4 by 6 inches. Press that down. And then we are going to go ahead and flip it over. I'm going to grab my scissors and trim off this excess paper. All right, so that's off. That is a scrap. You can save it with your scraps for this collection for another card or something else if you'd like. But I think yes, that's going the right way. Okay, we also do need to make sure that we are going the same direction. I thought I was upside down for a minute, but I had actually turned it when I went to cut it. And now flip over your entire project here, and we're going to get this other side done. This is the inside, as I like to call it. The other one was the outside more. I guess if you open it, although we're going to accordion close it anyways, so I don't know if it really matters all that much, but this is where our tile paper comes into play. I also have a, oops, this is not here. This goes down here, and this is 4 by 6. Whereas our other papers on the other side were 4 3/4 by 6. These are 4 by 6 to match the size of the mat because we have the pockets here, and you want to be able to kind of cover a little bit of it, but you also want to be able to open your pockets. So when we go to do our tape, we're going to be very careful to make sure we get along these edges here. Let me show you where we're going first, and then we will get it, just everything stuck down. Okay, here we go. So now you can see where our little papers and everything are going to match and look really cute together. Tape runner going down along this edge here. Be very careful. And if you want to grab out your glue pen again, you can use that for this as well. Just think the tape runner is a little bit quicker. Make sure you line up your paper with the outside edge of your envelope. I went a little too far with my tape runner, so that is good to know for the next one. So you just need to make sure to go in a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of your closure. And then this one's going to run against the edge here. Line it up nicely. we now have all of our sides covered. As you can see, when we go to fold, these are going to fold in like so. This is going to fold down here, and our little closure is going to come up and over. And I'm going to trim this down probably just a little bit because I do have a little circle we're going to be adding to our closure here. Just go ahead and do that. I mean, we wanted to overlap, but we don't need it quite that far. So I took off right at an inch, maybe about 1 1/8 inches from the end of my strip here, but it's good to get the placement first and then do your trimming, because otherwise you are going to wind up probably off a little bit. So that is the outside. That's the back side of my journal. So when you're planning yours out, think about where you're going to have your placement of your items. Let me go ahead and put down my circle. I did punch this circle with my circle decorative punch using the Starry Night Shimmer again. So this is going here, this is going to go here, and this is kind of going to be as a button over part of it. So let me do this here and a little bit to the outside as well. There we go. And then I will probably put a little bit of tape runner underneath just to hold it closed, and it'll open each time. Actually, let's use the repositionable for that. But I want to put it underneath this part, not necessarily underneath my circle. So the repositionable tape is exactly that. It's repositionable. It does get tackier over time, so it'll hold it now, but it'll hold it stronger later. But you will still be able to open up your journal. And you might see a little bit appear here, but that's okay. It's not going to stick too much to our paper once we open this. So my final feature for the closure is I went ahead and took one of our stickers and I grabbed out my small custom cutting system circle, my red blade, and I went ahead and made a small adjustment to this Go See Do sticker because I thought that was such a fun sentiment for a travel log. And while I do still have the straight sides because this was a rectangle, I just thought that was just kind of fabulous for our journal. I have a couple more stickers I want to add. We have our What is Life But One Grand Adventure. That's going to go up here. So you can write on these little parts here if you want. You can put some names or whatever, but I just thought, that's just such a cool thing to have on there as well. On our luggage mat sheet, I want to put our Destination Unknown sticker just down here, kind of as if it's another suitcase. Because you can always write on the lines on the journal box of where you're going to, but that's up to you. Our tag paper over here, I'm going to add our teal camera to, and I thought it might be fun down here in this little ticket, so that way it just kind of pops in here and it fits precisely in that little space there. And finally, on this one, we are going to add our Now Boarding Tiled sticker to the top here. And just center it as best as you can. It's kind of hard with it being so far over. I'm going to scoop mine in here just a little. That looks pretty good. You can grab out your zero centering rulers if you want, but this is the back side or the outside of our journal. I'm calling it the outside, although some of it will get folded in. But let me just show you real quick. Here is our one end of our travel journal with our extra stickers that I've added in as well. Now let's go to the inside, and we're going to add a few extra stickers here also. We are going to add our large cloud and this airplane here to this travel tile here. Just thought it was kind of creating our own little layered sticker here to add to our travel theme. We're going to add our map points to our trip highlights here. There's a teal, there's a gray, and there's a mustardy yellow on this. I just thought this would be kind of fun to add almost like as bullet points. So we're going to use them sideways. We're going to put the mustard at the top, our gray in the middle, or on the bottom there, and our teal in the middle. So that way when you're just writing some random notes, you kind of get them highlighted with your little map points a little bit. We are also going to decorate our suitcase here a little bit with our adventure is calling, I must go. Travel far, travel wide. You know, sometimes you would see those suitcases that were just all stickers, so that way you could tell which suitcase is yours when you get to the baggage claim. I'm just going to use my multi-purpose tool here, lift that one up just a hair because I want my travel far, travel wide under because it has a little bit less on it. And you could take your corner rounder and round the corner so that way it's a little bit neater inside your luggage. And then I'm also going to add my compass points that we have here. We have a teal, a mustard, and a gray, again, like what we added to our little map points. So let's get those on to our, I think we're going to put the mustard on this side. Where's my north? Oops. And I guess really doesn't matter if we put them exactly up and down. I don't know. But I just thought it would be fun to also add those to our suitcase. And here you go. It's going to be in between. All right, so we have our compass points. We have our other parts here. We've got that. And we've got that. Okay. I think that's all the decorating I'm going to do. I do want to show you all real quickly how you can use your pockets. So before you leave, those blank cards that would have gone with these 5 envelopes, you can use these. You can actually just rip them down the seam here and put a couple in each envelope. So then that way you already have cards to write notes on from stories from your travels. You can also add a couple of cards. So this is a card I've done with our Passport to Adventure collection on our Sketch With Me series that I have. That one can go in there as well. So later if you want to send that to somebody, you can, and just write some notes of your trip. You can put in 3x5 cards. You can put in really anything you want into these pockets. Like I said, if you want to add photos later, you can add those to one of your pockets as well. Just fold up your little accordion here, fold it in, and you're ready to go. I hope y'all enjoyed my project. Thank you for stopping so much in the Pacific Northwest. Hit the thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. And thank you to all my subscribers who are watching me go off script again and do another fun project for you. Thank you again so much to Sammy, Kay and Trish, and Annie for hosting the Thrift Flip Road Trip. It's always fun. It's a great creative challenge for me to see what I can come up with. using something I already had in my house. I didn't really need to go thrifting for this one. I got to use up some scraps and some papers I already had on hand. And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I have extra envelopes laying around. Maybe because sometimes I hand people a card without an envelope. So I think this would just be so fun to give somebody to take on a trip and just jot some notes as they're going. They can write whatever on the back, their little bucket list. I hope that my little travel journal has inspired you to do some paper crafting. And if you would like to learn more about scrapbooking and get one of these little get started with scrapbooking catalogs, I hope that you will send me an email. We'll have my business card. It also has a little code for a free gift with your first order on my website. I would be happy to put one of these in the mail to you. I am getting ready to put up a series on my channel about how to just start scrapbooking, what tools and supplies you might need. If you are a scrapbooker or haven't scrapbooked in a while, we have some page kits that are a really simple either intro to scrapbooking or get your feet wet again with scrapbooking. And I have a quarterly class that will be making all 4 of those kits on May 24th. It's a virtual class, and part of it has a video component. So if you wind up needing to miss, you can watch the videos later and still ask me questions that I will answer happily for you all. And they're just really, really fun kits and show you some great introductory cuts on how to put pages together. And I also will be continuing my 101 scrapbooking ideas and sketches pages that I've been putting together to give you all ideas of pages you can make based on the sketches in this book. I link them all to their original blog posts, but I tend to go off script, as I mentioned. I like to show you all a different interpretation. A lot of times I use larger photos on my pages as well. Just makes things a little bit easier as we are putting them together. If you're looking for information on how to contact me, check the description box below this video. I will put my email address there, as well as a project list of supplies that you will need to put together the travel journal that I made today in this project. And there will also be a link to my website as well. And if it is your first time ordering at Creative Memories or you don't have an advisor yet, send me an email. I'll send you the catalog, and then with your first order, you can get a free gift. So lots of fun things happening. I sure do appreciate you all watching this video to the end. Until next time.